Yeah! So that's where our riff will be
in the future. My name is Madison.
And I'm Megan.
And this is the Coraddi Art and Culture Podcast.
Oh, snap. We are giving you all the good current events that are going around town at the G.
That means Greensboro, everybody.
Actually, it means UNCG.
Oh, you're right. That makes more sense.
Yeah, so basically how this podcast is going to work is that we're each going to bring two things, one current event and then one personal or like thought-provoking art-related event / thing.
Just topics, stuff to get ball rolling, get us talking, because we really need help with that right now.
We are coming to you live from the Coraddi office, except for it's not really live because this is a podcast, but technically.
We're here living in the moment. We are live. Yeah. You are not.
We are alive and
living and happy and thriving.
There we go. Couldn't have said it better myself. Madison. Snap. So I guess the first thing we want to let you guys know about are some current events that are coming your way around campus.
Yeah, really cool stuff going on. Basically my thing is an exhibition of an artist that I really love, J.C. Leyendecker. And it's not in Greensboro. It's actually in Winston-Salem at the Rinalda House, which is a really cool historical house.
Hey everyone, it's Madison. Sorry to cut in so early on in the podcast, but I realized while editing that I messed up on quite a bit of the information for this Leyendecker show. Basically, instead of only having 50 of his works, they're going to have over 100. And also, the show will be running all the way through December. So that is the correct information. Just don't listen to what I'm about to say. All right, I'll let you get back to it.
Basically, this exhibition has like 50 of his works up, which is absolutely fantastic. It'll be up, it went up last week, I think, and it'll be up for most of the month. So you really have time to go check that out.
Yeah, and the Rinalda House is also known for the Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit that happened within the last few years, and they have some like really like important cutting edge art.
Oh yeah, highly recommend. Great place, awesome artist, really cool fun time basically.
I went for my birthday once and it was closed.
Oh,
so
shit.
In January,
oh, no.
It's closed.
Don't go in January. This month only for that Leyendecker stuff.
Yeah, super cool. And you said Leyendecker is one of your favorite artists.
Oh my god, yeah. He did a lot of work for like fashion publications in, I'm pretty sure, the 1920s. He was a gay man and featured his partner as a model for a lot of his paintings. He just has this great, like, really, I don't know, interesting looking style. Like, it's not really doing anything new per se, but it's just really beautiful to look at. And he just has this way of like rendering the figure that I just find like really super intriguing.
Yeah, so go check that out this month. And we also have some new stuff coming this weekend put on by Lee Walton, our professor, our very own professor here at UNCG. There's going to be a series of social practice workshops on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, I mean, just Google that stuff. You can look about it in the Coraddi. You can make some posts on Instagram. And basically, it's just a collective group of artists and people sharing their information and work towards social practice, such as like Patrick Healy. He is a grad student here, and a few other grad students will be showing and talking about their work and creating workshops. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, another name I can remember is the Shoshana Guggenheim.
Yeah.
Not the Guggenheim, I don't think.
But we are still unclear on that.
Still haven't thought to Google that, but I don't think it's the Guggenheim.
If it is the Guggenheim,
that's wild.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
She's also having a show, I believe it's Thursday night at UNCG as a pop-up show. And when we're recording this, it has not happened. I'm sure when we put it out,
it will already happen.
So we'll give you a pre-critique of it. I hear it's going to be lit. So
and I just heard from Megan that it will be lit. So I agree.
So basically, it would
You
be
should
on
have gone.
fire. Yeah, you should have gone to this and brought your fire hoses as well. So, to the
second little part of this little podcast of ours.
Oh, wait. Okay, so just to go into a little more information about Madison and I.
Okay, yeah.
We are seniors. I'm a BFA in painting, so Bachelor's in Fine Art, painting with a minor in social practice. Can I get a yeah?
Yeah. I am also a BFA with a concentration in painting, but I don't have any minor. And you know what? That kind of scares me a little bit because everyone around me is talking about their minors and their cool stuff, and I'm just like, I paint. That's about it.
I mean, I think we can all agree that a BFA in painting is kind of the best degree generally.
Oh no, yeah, hell yeah.
So like, minor, schminor,
minor, whatever.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we figured. Yeah, you will, because you're graduating soon, and that's the real tea. Oh, also, we are brainstorming different names for our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So far, we have come up with
Tuesday Tea.
Tea Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Tubular Tuesday.
Tea at the G.
Mm-hmm. Senior Semantics.
Ooh, yeah.
This one we had on the list.
We can do some other random stuff in there.
I think you also wrote in 2 different bullet points, tubes and tacos. I'm really wondering what you meant by that.
So sometimes people like to enjoy Google Drive time, and I think that's okay. And
you just write what you want. Stream of consciousness.
Relatable content. Honestly, everyone should do it. It's a really great emotional, mental, and physical exercise.
Oh yeah. It's meditation with the good part.
Yes. We've also been talking about the negative side effects of meditation. Jinx!
I did not realize that there were any negative side effects. I always thought of it as like this, it's really good and you should do it, but I just never have.
I have dabbled.
Mm-hmm.
I am a meditation dabbler, and it's great for healing and learning by yourself, but I can see how I just wondering about those negative effects. What were some of the negative effects?
The ones I can remember, and we also found this article on Insider in their health section, I suppose. We just Googled it. It was the first thing. Super easy. Just Google negative side effects of meditation. You'll find it.
And the reason why we're wondering about the negative effects, though, is because in our advanced drawing class, we read an article where this amazing artist,
Howard Enna,
something.
Howard Enna. I know that. That's
Howard
a fact.
Enna. She's great. She is a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
And the interviewer cut her off before she could tell us about the negative aspects. So we Googled that stuff. Take it away, Madison.
Oh yeah. From what I can remember, there were a few saying like you might lose sight of yourself, which seems intense.
Yeah.
They're also talking about like physical things, like you'll get pains, and that may just be from sitting too long. I didn't really read too much into that. They just kind of had a blurb under it.
I'm wondering if this comes from like everyday meditation or like very intense your personal practice meditation that can go on for hours.
Yeah, I can definitely see some physical side effects of going on for hours.
Yeah, especially with like posture and things like that.
Because I know if I was really like in my own mind trying to meditate, my posture would just be absolutely terrible.
And already back problems, you know?
I already have a ton, don't need more. Maybe meditation's not for me.
But maybe, who knows? Now you do about the negative aspects.
And now,
you're welcome.
I never will do it.
Wow.
Someone will tell me to do like, oh, you should try some meditation. It'll really help all that anxiety you have. I'll be like, well, actually, my back problems are worse, so I won't do that.
And now we know this is coming to you from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep.
So our second thing to bring today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about something we're all kind of working through, balancing all of the projects from all your professors. If you're a kid like us and you want to take 3 studios at one time, relatable.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes we get large assignments. Am I right?
Oh, hell yeah.
We get...
extremely large. Some would say larger than the both of us.
Yes, I would say larger than both of us together times 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild and unneeded. But here we are. It's due tomorrow. By the way, we were tasked with drawing a 6-foot by 6-foot drawing.
Mm-hmm. Or the equivalent of surface area, so like 7 by 5.5 feet-ish.
Yeah, that's about where mine is right now, because I could not find paper that was 6 feet tall. 5 feet, that's another story. But yeah, there's some really interesting things coming out of this project. I think most of it is coming from a lot of stress.
And imagination.
And a lot of imagination.
Brought on by stress.
Oh yeah. And a lot of really great community building stuff, because like, it's just like such a great spot that we're working in. Like the whole class, we're just like bouncing ideas off each other, really like mini critiques that are asked for, not just given. Because please, for the love of God, don't just give a critique unless it's all good things.
And you guys are tight and you're friends and you're like, okay, I know you can critique me, I can critique you. It's all
you'll tell me how it is, but you'll still be nice to me when the day's over.
It's true.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know, we have a senior studio now. Whoop whoop. So exciting.
Hell yeah.
That is on Gatesby, and basically it's just beside the gym. What is it? Highland?
It's, I don't want to give the actual address, because please don't come visit us.
Oh, no. But, like, if you're a current student, you're going to get it next year or so.
It's a really cool spot. It was the old Subway. It's like a gutted Subway.
We have people who still try to buy Subway from us.
Yeah, and you can't get in just, like, being whoever you are. Like, you need a key card to get in.
You know, you gotta like, have those connections.
Because connections. Like, you gotta have a spot, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, this lady this other day, she came up. She had this very intense look on her face.
Oh, yes.
She was an intense woman. She walked up, started, like, tugging on the door, like, banging it, like, really trying to get in. And, I don't know, there's a lot of windows in this place. Like, the doors are all windows. You can see in. You can see that there's no subway going on. And she, like, looked in and yelled at us through the door. Is this a subway? And I don't know, Megan, is it a subway?
I believe that it is not a subway.
You know, I would concur.
Okay. So we now know that our senior studio is not a subway anymore. You can still tag it on Instagram. I believe you'd still have the tag on Snapchat, something.
Oh, yeah.
That it is a subway.
Yeah, so locationally, I think on Google Maps too, which is what's freaking all these people out, it is still technically a subway, but I don't ever remember having a subway there.
Yeah, we are not lovely 1-foot sandwiches. Delicious, I hear. I do like their grilled chicken sandwich. It's a good time.
You know, I really like a good tuna sandwich from there.
Oh,
I know a lot of people hate on tuna, but I grew up with it, you know?
Yeah.
My mom was all about the tuna craze.
Were you from New Hampshire?
New Hampshire, yeah.
Wow.
Love tuna up there,
Really?
apparently.
There's a lot of tuna and syrup. Do they go together? Who knows?
Yeah, we also like slap some lobster, some like clam chowder. It's really bad local dish.
Slap lobster for food, but not like physically for game or sport.
You mean the act of slapping lobster?
I'm just trying to understand.
Personally, I've never slapped a lobster. I never really thought to do it. But you know,
That's
my
fair.
job, we sell some lobsters. I might do that next time someone orders a surf and turf.
That's great.
Just like set it on the table, give it a, you know.
You know what? That's the New Hampshire way?
That's the New Hampshire way. That's what I'll tell them, because nobody knows down here.
Yep. And I'm from Boone, North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
ASU, App State, is where I'm from. Lots of mountains and hiking, and that's it. That's all you will find.
That's it.
It's
nothing. You in the woods.
Yep.
And that's it.
I believe that is true.
I've only been to Boone once, maybe, when I was touring App State. It was much too, how do I put this, preppy for me?
Preppy.
Like,
I can feel that.
The campus itself. I didn't really get a chance to look around Boone. But I don't know, it just wasn't my vibe.
It is very, like, businessy, make money, capitalist, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
like,
not about that.
Organization. I definitely felt more at home in Greensboro, UNCG.
Yeah, me too. It's really it's a nice little place. It's not too big. You don't have to walk up any intensely steep hills.
Don't have to walk in 2 feet of snow.
That's true. I grew up doing that. Walking to and from school uphill in the snow.
Really?
No.
Okay, just make.
I've had to walk to the bus in the snow, but that's about it. There's actually one time where I was walking and I slipped on a patch of ice and just tore my favorite pants. Totally destroyed my knee, and then had to go to school like that. But that's just the rough and tumble life of New Hampshire.
It's how we learn about living in New Hampshire.
Now I look for ice before I step.
Wow. Do you seek it out as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If I'm ready and preparing myself, I will go straight for a patch of ice and slide right across it.
That's so great.
Hell yeah. Find your joy,
Yes. What was the second item you were bringing?
Oh, I was gonna talk about kind of, I guess more of a negative aspect of our art program here.
Definitely.
It's not something. It's not a deal breaker at all because.
I mean, we're all critics. We all critique 3, maybe 6 hours a week. Who knows?
Hell yeah, we know what we're doing, I think. But really, it's a very strong stigma against any naturalist artwork or realism or anything like that. There's a really strong push towards abstraction, I've found in the classes that I've taken. And at first it was a really tough thing because I came in here looking to do, realism paintings to an extent. Naturalism, so actual objects, actual places, stuff like that. Stuff visually, what's the word I'm looking for? Representational, yes, exactly. And then as soon as I got into my classes and really got into my concentration, it was all towards you're not really doing anything new. You're not really doing anything good and new unless you're moving into abstraction. I'd have projects where I would do something realism based, and then most, if not all, the critiques I would get are, other than people critiquing on the actual object itself, they'd say I like what you're doing here, but I think you could do more, and then give me examples of abstract based things I could add to the work to make it quote unquote better.
Interesting. Yeah, I on somewhat basis agree, but also I feel that there is a major push to create naturalistic works.
Oh, really?
Representational works for the general public.
Yes,
I feel
I agree.
a push to make something look like something else that people can identify with online if you're trying to sell work.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times in critique, I am definitely a fan of all the art. I'm not going to hate on, or not that you were hating, but no. I'm not against any abstraction, representation, naturalism, any of that. But I do think in class the other day, Barbara said a very interesting, Barbara Thomas, said a very interesting bit that we all can learn. We can all learn to create naturalistically. We can all do perceptual painting, drawing, whatever. And I find it compelling and interesting to push beyond, not saying beyond as in abstraction, division of shape or line or whatever, is more interesting. But I definitely am compelled that way because our first 2 classes here, our drawing classes, we are all drawing representationally.
Yeah.
We are learning chiaroscuro. We are pushed to assignment after assignment perceive and translate to the paper, to the 2D, and I'm coming from a drawing class perspective. I think it's very positive that we're told to push beyond and to think beyond, and in classes like variable topics, you have the option to work representationally, naturalistically, abstraction, bleh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything. You can take different artists, different ideas, social practice. You are encouraged to like branch out to different things, but also, I don't know, if you draw something or paint something or whatever exactly the way we can see it, you are gonna have to face the question: why is this not a photo? Why can't I just?
No, I totally agree. Like I do agree with that, and I think that the fact that we are pushed towards other things than realism. I'm not like putting realism on like a pedestal here. Like I definitely agree with like how important, you know, other aspects of art is. I mean, that's what art is, you know, pushing yourself to find other things like that interest you, that interest other people. And I appreciate being pushed towards something to further understand what I'm interested in. Like, I mean, now after being, you know, shown different types of abstraction, you know, representational, non-representational, stuff like that, I've found that there are types that I do resonate with, others that I don't. And without being pushed towards, you know, working like that for even a single class, you know, I wouldn't have known that. Doing abstract work in class has definitely, you know, broadened my understanding of what art can be, which I highly appreciate. It's just like, it's a level of like having to take a step back and understand that I'm still here to not only further my understanding of art, but also further my technique and find my style and what makes me interested and what will further my career after graduation. So like a large part of my work outside of class is representational. And it's kind of a battle of taking what I'm learning in class and kind of, you know, using that towards furthering any representational work that I do on my own. So they really like, they speak to each other really well, but I don't know, like I think, you know, early on when I was an underclassman, probably a sophomore, I first heard that, you know, apparently illustration is a quote unquote bad word in our program.
And have you found that to become true in your upper level classes now?
You know, so far, I mean, we've only had a couple weeks of the semester, but so far I've actually found that my more illustrative work has been greatly accepted, which is very surprising and like very good.
But I can definitely see how there would be pushback of that, especially in, I mean, possibly variable topics, maybe.
Because that's like a huge, like, the whole point of variable topics is to like broaden your own art and like push the limits.
And push yourself to create your own language through which that you work.
Definitely. I'm definitely not saying that a push towards abstraction is inherently a bad thing, you know.
But you do find it.
I do find it, and especially here at UNCG. But, I mean, I know that definitely there are some other students who feel the same way. But I just really say, like, if you are really, you know, intrigued by realism, intrigued by like stuff like that, don't lose sight of it just to get the grade. Like, if you're really interested in that, do work towards that. Like, don't not spread your wings, but also don't lose sight of what you're interested in.
And I believe we are encroaching on a very complicated topic we have here in the art program, general society, all education everywhere, grading, and different things like that.
Yes.
I have definitely felt that things have been graded due to a professor's subjective opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times different ideas, ways of making, processes, everything, there is a clash. And when you're taking, say, 2 to 4 studios at a time, you're being pulled in, or myself, don't want to speak for everyone, but in different directions.
Yeah.
You want to create like collage. We have a professor who really loves collage.
Oh, she loves collage.
She loves collage.
She's so into it.
So like trying this avenue, but also trying to stay authentic, and I hate that word, but also authentic to your work and yourself. And that's a major challenge when you do feel compelled to, in another course I was feeling compelled to strike towards naturalism and to really stay true to that. Also learn color theory and the way perceptual, just seeing and interpreting light and the way that cascades across the body and then under shadows and reflective light and hues and blah 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 blah, but also trying to branch to this other world all at once. It's a bit, I think, overwhelming, but also pushes you to identify what parts of your work are changed for the better, compromised on, and what's working and what doesn't.
Definitely. But yeah, I totally agree that what you're saying, like, it broadens our understanding.
Yeah, it helps us create different avenues to which just understand ourselves and our work.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
So, talking about really good things, not so great things, but that's just how things are.
It's always good to communicate with another artist, a group, what are artist collectives,
nice.
Meet at a coffee shop, talk about your work. And I say this knowing that we probably all are taking 5 to 6 classes and have a job or two.
Oh my god,
life is hard.
Yeah, it takes up all your time.
Yeah, you don't do anything other than life, but also sleep. Sleep is good. We encourage sleep.
Oh, sleep can be so good to you.
Yeah, sometimes, last night I was going to go work on our 6x6 foot project, and I walked out to go straight to the studio, and then I walked straight home and went to sleep.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, live with that energy. I want to do that today, but it's due tomorrow, so I
have to push through.
I have to push through.
So tomorrow? It is.
Yes, it is Wednesday.
I've gotten my days all messed up this week.
No, mine was really bad earlier this week.
But yeah, we also have a few announcements to wrap this bad boy or woman up with.
This bad thing.
This bad thing. That will now be our ending for every single podcast we do. Bad things to wrap up with. Okay, yeah. So just some things to be looking up in your horizon. On September 26th, Nick Cave is coming to UNCG. Yes, I'm talking about Nick Cave, the dude who he has a history in fashion, and branched over to sculptural work, where definitely fashion is very evident, yes. Yeah. And he uses forms, bodies, mannequins, definitely the human form to just, oh my gosh, so much. You'll have to just Google him and see him talk. I can't speak for him because he's dope. Our second current event that's coming up.
We don't know exactly when this is.
We will be coming at you with the date in our next one.
Yeah, or we'll post it on one of the Coraddi's media pages, something like that. We'll keep you updated.
Here's the tea.
Here is the tea. Mary Kelly. She is coming?
She's coming.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she is.
And I don't know if you guys know who Mary Kelly is, but holy shit.
You're going to learn about her, or you've already learned about her in your late 20th century art. If you took it with Wasserman. I don't know who teaches it now. Silverman? I'm not sure.
I have no idea. I've never met Silverman, so.
I'm not sure who teaches it now, but it's a great class. You learn
Very cool.
Just freaking amazing artists. Oh my gosh. Mary Kelly is coming. She's famous for her postpartum manifesto. Oh my gosh. Just, if you're into feminism or good art.
She's your lady. Oh my god.
She's your lady.
The key word for Mary Kelly is poop.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds shocking, but I promise you, in all seriousness, Mary Kelly, poop.
And documents.
Documenting it's
poop.
not only poop. Documenting poop, yes.
There are options. You can look through all of it. Yeah, so thanks so much for listening to our first ever podcast. Yeah. We'll have a real name and maybe a jingle next time. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we're going to figure all that out. It's going to be great. We're going to be coming out every week, probably Tuesday. Maybe another day.
That's because we want to give you the tea on Tuesday because we
Exactly.
know how you guys like your tea.
And we are here to spill it.
We're going to spill your tea for you. Bye.
Bye.